Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. These are going to be unlisted videos, and what I'm going to be doing is unlisted Zmodeler tutorials for the people in the BC Designs Discord here. I do appreciate you guys stopping by, and hopefully these videos will help you out to some extent. I will pass on what I know, which isn't a lot, but it is enough that got me started and got me actually releasing packs. And I know that a lot of you that have been wanting to do this, that's really all you guys need, is just get down and learn how you do it, because it's not, the software isn't hard when you know how to do it. It's just that first getting started and understanding what all the buttons are, what everything is, and then actually applying that to a vehicle. So what we're going to be doing today is a 2018 Dodge Charger, and actually getting you guys set up with your first Zmod account. So if you are, actually let's just jump right into it. I'm not even going to waste my time talking, because I will do it. I haven't recorded a video in so long, so I'm kind of actually trying to remember how to do all this. So navigate to your Chrome here, and you go to your Zmodeler, which I'm already there, but just go to zmodeler3.com, create an account if you don't already have one, and then when you do, you should come to a screen somewhat like this, where you have your personal info, settings, and all that. I do have some things blurred that are my personal things, like my computer ID and all that. When you do get to the screen though, go ahead and start going over here to my computers. If it doesn't have your platform already defaulted here, well, it should be like right here. If not, just add a new platform. If you don't know how to find your platform ID, there's a good idea on how to do it on Google. Just head that way and it'll show you how. When you do end up having that here, you can create your platform ID over here, which is, mine's just Avion Gaming, as much as it'll actually let me. And then you don't need to do the rest of this. Press submit. Next, by default, you will also get a free 30-day free trial over here, but if you want to go a little bit longer than that, I understand. If you want to do that, go down to buy licenses here, scroll all the way down until you can accept the terms and conditions, pick your country, America for me, and then your term length, and then pay. Once you do that, it'll pop up over here, and then once you do that, I'm just going to click on this one because I haven't done it yet. I'm not going to do it because I still have 90 days left, or no, 18 days left on this one. You'll go down here, you'll press apply, it'll give you a key that says activate, and then once you do that, it should transfer from here over to here. Then go ahead and just open up our Zmodeler so we can get started here. So once you already have that downloaded and started up for the first time, you'll get something like this that pops up with your license information and everything. I'm not going to do it because it does have some sensitive information right here, and I don't want to have to spend the entire time editing blur boxes everywhere. But you'll go over here on license information, hold shift, and you should see something that pops up that says license activated. You have 30 days or however long you paid for. Press apply and OK, restart your Zmodeler, and then you should get to a screen that looks something like this. I have different colors on it, but you can change those later on if you so choose. Minimize that for right now. Go to your Chrome here, and I'm going to put links to everything I'm going to have you download in the description. So we're going to go ahead and start with Matt's 2018 all-wheel drive package Dodge Charger off the modding forum. Go to that. We're going to do the Code 3 RX 2700 light bar. We're going to do this one for a very specific reason, which I will get into later. And then just to show you guys how to do it, the Satina PB400 Dodge Charger ram bar. Right? You can get all these from all these websites here. I know this one you need to create an account to actually download, but these two you do not. When you get all those downloaded, I recommend you guys starting dev folder as such. I already have one, so it won't let me make it. So when you do that, you can set fine. You can set different folders for what you have. So I have one for push bars for my vehicles, so on and so forth, light bars. Close out of that, and then you go back into your Zmodeler, and then first thing you're going to want to do is set your vehicle in game. So I would always go to open, do your dev folder, find your vehicles folder, and then when you actually put it in there, this one should come just like this, Dodge Charger Pursuit 18. Open that up. Now these files here, these are the Z3D files that you always want to merge or open. These will actually have everything you need with your materials and textures and stuff. So just for sake of tutorial, let's just do the all-wheel drive package. When you double click that and it opens up, you should see a bunch of tiny boxes. As such, to actually get your car to show, you need to show your LODs. All these up here are your LODs, your collisions and bus maps and all that. Just click L0 for right now because that's going to be the highest level of detail. And then when you have that up there, let's just get rid of these. So if you actually just control click on both of these, right click, edit, delete, and we will worry about those at a different time. So if you open this up, you will see everything. Press hide all. You can just start opening things individually and see what is what. The chassis is gonna be like basically the entire body of the car, doors, your bonnet, boot, so on and so forth. Press show all again to keep everything on. And then the first thing I recommend doing too when you actually load up Zmodeler, set your windows. So if yours doesn't show up with 4 different windows like this, easy way to do it is go to View, go to Layout, split top level, and then I do 4 panes across. And then you should get a bunch of different views like this. I'm going to show you the way I do it. You can figure out whatever way you like better, but this is just the way that makes sense in my head when I'm actually working. I like this one to be my 3D view to where I can move around and see the vehicle. I like this one to be my top view, so if I need to move things up and down or left and right easy, I can do that. Front view on here. And then this one I use for basically whatever I need to change. A lot of times it's my UV mapper, a lot of times I use it for left. It just depends on what I want to do. But if you want to change that, you can go up to here where it says user or 3D or whatever it says for you. Change it to whatever one that you desire. Right? When you do that, let's go ahead and actually just start getting our light bar in here. That way we can kind of see where we need to move things. Now with the light bar that I am going to have you use, I chose for a very specific reason, and it's how to import things versus just merge them in, because it is just a little bit difficult, or a little bit more difficult and a little bit more time consuming to do it that way. But it's good knowledge to help you guys out. So you get that light bar in there. Let's go ahead and navigate up to this texture browser here, which is up next to your undo button. Go ahead and click that. And then in the all textures, make sure that's selected. So it goes into every single texture that you're using. Go up to add. Find that. So you're going to go to your dev folder, light bars. Go to, I have mine all situated and by brand and everything, but go up to your code 3, and your RX 2700. Files, textures. Now this is where you guys can get a little bit creative. If you don't want to follow me step by step, I do recommend you doing it, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. If you want to do all blues, whatever, go to colors, red and blue, and then just highlight all of these here. Press open. You should see these pop up right at the bottom. Okay, now you need to actually put the light bar in your Zmodeler. So go over here to import. Find that light bar file, light bar 3 RX100 files, and then you'll see these. The numbers are representing the light bar lengths. So for a charger, we're just going to do 47 inch. Hide that to see it actually show up there. And if things are all looking correctly, then this is what you should see. Just a quick side note, if you are using user mode like I am and you're wondering why you can't move your scene around, hold Alt and click, and then you'll be able to move. So let's just start off by opening this here. You'll see you got your takedowns only, your emisses, so on and so forth, your glasses. You're also going to see one that says L4 right here. If you check and uncheck that, what that is your lowest LOD kind of block. If you don't want to do anything with that right now, I'm not going to actually show you how to do it in this video, so you can just right click on it. It'll just make things easier for the long haul, I guess. And then, all right, so if you want to get this going, what you have to do is, I'm pretty sure you do not want a light bar in the middle of your vehicle. Correct. So what I would always do, hide this vehicle here, that way you don't highlight and select anything that you shouldn't on the vehicle, because if you do that and move something, it's just going to be wrong and you're going to have to redo it. All right. You're going to go up here, go to select, Command R, back to modify, move, and then I'm going to show you like a little trick here. If you go back to select, find quad R and move it over here, do the same thing with your move. That way it's just right here, and you can quick select and not have to do all these tabs and stuff like that. It's just ease of access. And then what I always recommend too, down here where it says auto, if it's turned on like that, if it's highlighted and then lit up, turn it off. You're not going to want it. It's better off not to have it and to start off using Zmodeler without it, and it'll help you immensely not to mess things up. So when you have that turned off, excuse me again, go into your, let's just do top view. If you're going to hold right click, it'll let you actually select things. Now you notice that there's two different colors here. If you were to go from left to right while you're right clicking, you'll see it's blue. What that does is, here, let me just hide everything. Check siren glass. So if I were to select that, you see it turns a red. But if I don't select the whole thing, it does not turn red and doesn't let me move it. However, if you go this way and it turns green, all you have to do is just select a very little poly. Actually do it. You don't need to select the whole thing, unlike this. So just that you guys have that knowledge under your belt. So highlight the entire light bar here. Turn your police 2 back on, and then we just want to move it up. We don't want to move it, left and right, forth. Uncheck your X. So if you move it on the top view along your Y, it's going to go up and down. You move it on your left and right. And if you move on your Z, you're not going to notice it in this one, but you can see it goes up and down as well, but not in this. It's kind of, we're just going to do our Y. Move it up just till it's perfectly on the hood of your car. Now you can also see that's a little farther forward than we want it. We don't want it to be angled on our roof of our car like that. We want it to be back a little bit. Now on Chargers, unlike other like SUVs and Tauruses and stuff like that, where basically all the light bars are in line with the door seam here, Chargers are a little bit different just because the way that their doors are slanted, back towards their back windshield here. We want to move this back ever so slightly until it's just about, I would say about 6 inches past this door seam here. That's just my personal preference. Everything you do is going to be tailored to how you like it. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Right, so that looks good for me. It's sitting kind of nice. I'll move it down just there. Perfect. All right, and then a quick little keybind you guys can learn. So if you guys have something selected, you can either hold Control and then go back over it to deselect it, or just a little bit quicker, Shift D. Shift D is what I use 90% of the time, and it's helpful. So you got that seated where you want to. You notice these clamps, right? Clamps are actually clamp underneath this little I don't even know what rain shield part of the I don't know, you know what I'm talking about. What you guys need to do here is you actually need to set these into your that part right there. But you'll also notice these are also bolded. That means that these have already been compounded. They have all LEDs. So if you were to actually flip through, see it, you have different LEDs for, or you have different light bar models, I guess. So what you need to do, you actually need to dismiss the LED so you can work with a completely raw file that doesn't have any issues. That when you start using your polygon mode, it won't affect other LEDs, if that makes sense. If you have any questions, hit me up on Discord. So what I would always do here, start on the very top, all the way down to the very bottom, and hold Shift, click. What that'll do is that'll highlight everything here. Go up here to where it says, you'll see you'll have a bunch of files you can open here. One thing about Zmodeler is you are going to get autosaves all the time, and you are going to want to rip your hair out every single time it happens, because it's always right when you have to do something important is when let it do its thing. It'll, once you get all these files where they let you open them and bunch of miss. Open them all up, and just for my personal preference, I always start at the very bottom. You don't need all of these. Obviously, these are just LEDs. Let's just get to what we know is our bottom one, or our highest LED. So start here at the bottom. See, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 MISC Ls. Highlight the bottom 3. Edit, delete, and then just do that with the same for all 3 of them. Don't dismiss the coals. Keep the coals. That's your light bar's collision. Allows for like break. Do the same for on all of those. Just make sure you keep at least. So light your siren glass 3, 3, 3, and then emisses. As you can see here, this one only has 3 instead of 4. You just want to keep 1. So like this is the parent right here. You can think of this one as the parent is what it's called. Things are inside of it. So just keep 1. 3, 2, and then you should have all of these selected by now. Right click. Now it's starting to look a little bit funky. Let's get things easier for us to understand what's going on here. So in each of the parents, you can see we have your MISC icon here. Doing. If you were to start deselecting stuff, you'll see things disappearing in your top view or whatever you're looking at. Like that's a glass, that's a glass. And then if you were to deselect these are just dummies. These have absolutely no purpose in ELS. Just kind of an easier way to store things. So let's go into each one of those. Take the one that you left in there, highlight them. Same thing with the one at the bottom. Got them all. I think that's do that one as well. Right click, linking, press unlink. You'll see all these pop down here at the bottom, and all these here. If I were to undo these, you'll see this is what they call a dummy. For non-ELS, they are used for like lighting and stuff like that, but in ELS, there's really not much. You can literally deselect these. All these don't do anything except for the collision, but we can make our own. Well, so go right up here to where it says RX2700_47. Right click, edit, delete, and that'll take everything away that is inside that parent. Because that was just one big parent. You can see one thing. Open it up. It has everything that we just worked out. Delete that. And if you were to shift click on the bottom one, going back, light bar is there, and it should still be exactly where it. All right. So now, like I said, what we need to do are the clamps. Actually, make it look like it's clamped onto the vehicle. Oop. Sorry, got my cat meowing in the background. All right. So the easiest way to do that and to keep everything in line is what we're going to do is we're going to go up here to edge mode. And real quick, let me actually just explain what all these are here. So what you have done so far has been an object mode that lets you move things as a whole. Oh, polygon mode, if you were to click on that, click on here, you can move and edit individual polys on a vehicle. Like if I highlight that one, you know, it looks kind of funky, but if you end up doing something like that, just go up here, undo until it's back to normal, deselect it, go back into object mode, but we're going to go into edge mode. Edge mode does let you move individual polys without actually moving any sort of or without it being disconnected from what you're moving it from. So what we want to move are these clamps here. So find where those clamps are connected, which are these right here. Give it a click and you should see your scene change into a different color, and then you should see like these little green dots pop up over your scene. All right, so what we need to do is we need to move this from where it is over, looks like over to the right, and probably up a little bit. So if you were to go up here, you want to move up along your X and Y, actually you don't want to move it just left and right or up and down. You want to move them all the ways you can. This, see if you were to do this Y mode, you could go up and down. Likewise. Right? So make sure you have both of these selected. if for some reason, because I've had this bug happen to me multiple times, if for some reason it only lets you choose one or the other, go over here to screen, or if it'll most likely say world or local, or it's on, that way it'll let you have both of these selected up. Okay. All right. Now that we have this selected here, I'm just gonna go ahead and select these polys here, and then what we need to do is we need to make it look as realistic as we can, being clamped onto the part here. I like to zoom in as close as I can get, and just move it to where it's barely, if at all, clipping through the vehicle. You can see it was clipping right there when I kept moving it in. Yep. That'll make it, that shows up in game and it just looks god awful. You don't want it. So just get it to where it is like that, and then we will do our finer adjustments here. So I always start right up here at the top, and then you can kind of see how the vehicle does have a line of symmetry. I find this to be highly inaccurate sometimes. Like if I were, like you can see it's pretty much in line with the vehicle itself, but if I were to go into a view like that here, you can see it's kind of raised off, kind of like raised off the car a little bit, so I always tend to get it just a little bit closer, if not overlapping, just excuse me. All right, so what we need to do here is hold right click again, highlight these two polys, move them, would put them right about here, so, and you can see it's clipping a little bit. You can do your finer adjustments by highlighting that one and putting that up. You just basically want to make it look as realistic as possible, that is actually clamped onto the vehicle and as smooth as possible. Kind of something like that. It is, so that looks pretty damn good right there. Language, you can see the code 3 is showing. Perfect. All you have to do here, I'm gonna move down a wee bit because we didn't move that. You don't have to do this, I'm just doing this completely optional, like, all right. So that side is all set. Now you need to transfer on it to the other side here. So if you're in your user mode, just go and hold Alt and then you can zoom in and it clear a picture. Do the same thing over here. They're just barely clipping through at all. I'll say if you guys have if you have buttons on your mouse, like on your thumb buttons, you can use them on like Google Chrome to go back and forth between pages. That actually works with your undo and redo button. So if you need to actually see something, or if you want to see if you're clipping or not, you can deselect something. If it is, just press your back button, it'll highlight what you. Tips and tricks. That one, how we did it. Make sure you're only selecting the polys that you want to select and you're not actually getting everything else that you don't want. Oh, so let's these polys here up, just clipping. In my case, they are. So when you're done with that, when you have that all set, definitely also, if you ever think I'm going too quick or something, pause the video, go back and rewatch, or if I'm missing kind of something or going too fast in general, shoot me a message on Discord. Oh, okay. All right, so once you're done with that, you don't want to mess with these. Back up here to object mode, click on that, and it should bring you back to where you can't. So you can still select them, but you can't select the individual polys. All right. So now that we have that all set, we can actually start working on making this a functioning light bar. Start off by hiding everything here, and highlight everything that is not going to be a light. Like these are all of the light emissive here. This is what is actually going to shine in game. Let's not focus on those right now. Let's light bar all set up. All right, so highlight everything but those emissive, including the takedown only. Autosave, gotta love it. All right, perfect. All right, so yep, do your takedowns only, and your EMIS. This is going to be your emissive, or your spotlight takedown. There we go. Gonna be your takedown and play, and they match of the mesh. So let's get everything selected, and then what we want to do is we want to start connecting all these things together, because you don't want too many things here in your hierarchy, or you will get things breaking and your car just will absolutely just break in game. It'll look fine in Zmodeler, but it'll break in game if you have too much stuff. Let's start attaching those. So if you were to go up here to modify, attach, or you can do what I said, just bring it down to where you need it. That way it's quick access. You'll see this little box here that is your cursor. If you were to click somewhere, I know pick a node to be attached. If I were like click over here, I would get an arrow. That's what that is doing, is it's just asking what you want this to attach to. So if I want this to attach to this, I'll attach it to that, so on and so forth. So you get everything. So let's start in our in our front view, so we can kind of see the entire light bar and not just bits and pieces. All right. So let's just start off by clicking this here. Come on. Attach it to Siren Glass 3. Just basically attach everything that you can to save some space. Now, if you were doing non-ELS, a little bit different, because you now you see we have something that we can't really click on right now because it's actually hidden on, and that's not highlighting. As you see, this is highlighting and showing that everything we have is already attached. So we need to attach this to this now. The easiest way to do that everybody does it differently, but this is how I do it. I go ahead and click on it already, and then hide what you just selected. Find the thing that you attach it, and boom, things attached. So now what you should be left with is you have your entire light bar, which is taken down. One click of the button here. Have emissives here. Take down emissives. Now, if you notice, it also has takedown emissives. So what we are going to do is we're actually just going to go ahead and delete the duplicate here. And then we're going to go ahead and highlight both of these. Everything is here that we need them to be. You'll notice if you want to see your lights in Zmodeler, you can see if I were to checking this, you can't really see them. Move this down. All right. Just because this is our entire light bar, let's go ahead and double click that, rename it to misc underscore, just so we know what it is later. It doesn't really matter what you name it aside from that, as long as it's misc underscore something that makes sense in your head. Hide that because we don't need it at the current moment. We actually need to figure out what we're doing with our. So as you can see, all these lights are connected. So what we need to do is figure out we need to actually, detach all the lights from each other, because we don't want them all connected, flashing at the same time like this. But what we need to do is polygon mode. And if you were to click here, like before, we got a bunch of these polygons here. Make sure see that you can move them any which way. Just make sure when you're done moving. But figuring out what polygon mode does. Make sure you put it back to where by pressing. So we need to detach these. Stay in polygon mode for this. We're going to go right over here to go to modify, submesh, find where it says detach polygons from the object and click on it. You should see your move tool got deselected onto the. So let's go ahead and just start right at the very bottom. So what we need to do is we need to sorry, I'm kind of having a loss for words. To highlight this one, holding right click, selecting this and only this. If you end up selecting like polys like that on accident, hold control and deselect them just like that. All right. And then what we need to do, just click. So you can see if we click, we'll get two separate emails. We're to check or uncheck this one. You can see this one's exactly what. To go back and do it again, you have your window clicked, go over to polygon. You have to do this every time because it always resets back to object mode. Back to polygon mode. Click on your on the full light bar. Highlight, click. That one did. And then if you want another keybind shortcut, the easier way to get back to polygon mode, 3 on your keyboard. Thing, click. Actually, click. 3, highlight, click. 53, highlight, click. So on and so forth. I'm just going to powerhouse this. You can take as much time as you need or pause the video. Now, I just want you guys to be very clear. I am not by any means. I aspire to be a teacher. I don't want to tutorial make. However, there are not a lot of Z out there. There's McGinn. I actually do watch a lot of his videos myself, but uploads. Alright, so once you have all these deselected, you can go through all these and only one thing at a time highlight. That's good. That everything should be as I instructed you to do. And you should also see your hierarchy over here overloaded with a bunch of things I say. Alright, so what we need to do is we need to figure out how we want them to attach in Flash in game. We're going to go up here to attach tool. Let me just go ahead and go through the extras with you. So with ELS, you have extra 1 through extra 12. Extra 1 through 4 are typically meant for your primary lights. That's mostly what is activated on stage 2 and 3, along with 5 and 6. 5 and 6 are typically activated on stage 3 only, and a lot of people like to use those rambar lights for like mirror beams and stuff like that. So what we need to do is figure out what is going to be what. An extra 1 and 4 activate on stage 2. So like on stage 1 you'll have your traffic advisor, or if you're just doing like just a light bar, for instance. Yeah, so that's what shows up on stage 2. Excuse me, extra 1 and 4. Extra 1 is typically meant for reds. Extra 4 is typically meant for blues. However, if you're doing an all blue vehicle, then it doesn't matter. You just have to change XML. All right. So let's find where our reds are in here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, 5 are all reds, and that you can see that they are. So let's just make this simple for us. Let's connect. Oops. Make sure you're not in polygon mode. Make sure you're in mode when you're attaching. Let's just attach all of the red. 4. And then this one is going to be a little bit weird because, you know, this one's already here. So like this one, you attached 5 lights. I'm just going to attach 4. So 2, 3, 4. Right. And then you'll notice on the back here, you do have some traffic advisors or amber lights. So what we're going to do here is highlight that one, connect it to that one, leave that one alone, highlight that one to that one. So if you were to just Jesus Christ, hover your mouse over these, you can see these ones are connected. All 4, or excuse me, 5 of those are connected. All 4 of those. So now you're wondering, well, what about these LED lights? So what about takedowns? Well, simple fix. Connect your 2 takedown lights together, so those are connected. Then your LED lights here, connect them together. And then you should notice, one, your hierarchy is a lot cleaner, and then these are actually connected. Both of those highlight. If I were to zoom out and have an autosave at the perfect time. All right, perfect. You can see those are connected there. They both highlight whatever color. I forgot what the default color is, but mine's blue. Right? Maybe if you start deselecting stuff, you'll see what So if you remember what I said about 2 minutes ago about how extra 1 is always going to be red lights and 4 is always going to be blue, we want to set the names of those accordingly. That way the game understands, okay, this here is supposed to be extra 1, so extra underscore 1, and find wherever the blue one was, which is here. Click those are blue. Double click that so you can rename it extra 4. And we're not going to have an extra 2 or 3 on this because we just don't have an extra 2, or we don't have the lights to do extra 2 and 3 at the moment. So you can see if we go around to the back here, we have our ambers right here, and now this goes in sequence too. This actually does matter with ELS. So if you want things to flash, like since we have these attached the way we do, if we want them to flash, you know, this one, then this one, then this one, you know, so on and so forth, or back and forth, we need to set them accordingly. So I personally always set it 7, 8, and 9. Those are your takedown emisses, and that's just the way I do it. You can, if you want to fool around with different patterns later on, apologize for that. Actually, make sure that actually the one on the left, the one in the middle should be 8, and extra underscore 9. Perfect. Now just so we can get this in order, hold click on, or excuse me, long press on your extra 4, just bring it right above to where you see that line pop up right between an extra 1 and 7, and things are just in order. Okay. At the bottom here you see we have 2 extra emisses. This one's probably, yep, this is going to be our alley lights. This is going to be our takedowns. Our alley lights are going to be extra score 12, then extra 11 for your takedowns. Okay. So we have things connected, we have our traffic advisors all set up, and we have our takedowns and everything all ready to go. Basically, once we do what we're about to do here, your vehicle will pretty much be ready to take in game and test, right? So let's just hide extra 11 and 12 right here, because the steps for that one is a little bit different than what I'm about to show you here. What we are going to do are LODs of these lights. So if you were to actually just start off with 1, we're just do extra 1, right click, press edit, and then copy. You will see extra 1 pops up down here. I always do drag that into the one that you copied from, so you can start it down here, drag it into. We'll have a parent with a child now. Okay. You can do the same thing for all of the other ones except for extra 12 and 11. And extra 4 goes to extra 4, extra 7, so on. Open all those up. You'll see you'll have a copy of each 1, 1, 4, 4. Click on the parent one of extra 1, so the one that is the, for lack of better words, the dad of the one that is inside it as such. Make sure L0 is unchecked. You should have nothing checked up here when you do LODs, because if you do, things will mess up and it won't work. So once you have this selected, have this one unselected, go to convert to compound, lock, L0, go to your child, long click, drag into this window right here, click L0, unlock it, and that is done. That is literally the most confusing part about this. This is what everybody has issues understanding and, for lack of better words, remembering. So once you actually have this, everything else is pretty much fucking smooth sailing, I promise you. The reason why I put everything into a parent is that way when you're done LODing 1, it automatically goes convert to compound, 0, tag it in, uncheck L0, unlock, and look at that, it's already on 7. Okay, so you can just keep going through it. Check 8, convert. Okay. Done there. Right, I apologize. I'm getting text from my girlfriend there. So you can see you have two different sets of stuff. You have some bold items and not bold items. What we did is we basically redid what we did earlier where we dismissed things, but we did it in our way, how it should be and how you like it, right? So now what we need to do is just uncheck all these, that way you don't have anything. 12 and extra 11, just highlight them, make sure that they are there still. And let's start off with our extra 11. That's going to be the more used thing that people used, I guess. We want to make sure that these are. So what we're going to do is highlight them in our view. We can highlight it here. Go to display up top. Center to local axes by object. Go to your window and click. Now you should see something popped up right here. This is exactly what you want. And go over here to your extra 11. Right click on it. Edit. Make a copy. Have 2 copies. We're not doing the LODs on it yet. We have to do something different, which is why I'm saying this is a little bit different. Doing it something else, because we have to tell the game what way the light is going to flash or shine, because you don't want your takedowns to be shiny behind you, left or to the right. What we need to do, click on the bottom one that we just copy of, right click on it, convert to dummy. See this box, exactly what you want. Don't worry, it's not going to show up in game. It's just a thing to tell the game what this does. Okay? Zoom in on your top view, select that before you move it into anything. Now if you were to actually look into your Zmodeler here, you see you have a bunch of like these grid lines here with with 2 solid lines going on either side or on either way of your view. This right here is your world center. Where we are going to put this dummy here, we're going to put it, it's going to seem weird because why would the light shine through here? I don't know, but this has always worked for me in my time, and have the light shine forward. We're going to put it like right in the middle of the square here. So you have, let's just number these. So you have quadrant 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to put it right in the middle of quadrant 2, right? That way that tells the game that this light is always going to be shining. That light is always going to be shining this way. I don't understand how it works, it just does. Follow me here. All right, so now we have that where we need to. Let me deselect all these again. Now what you want to do is you want to drag the mesh, which this is what's called the mesh, is the mesh is the object that the light is shining from. So we want to drag mesh into the dummy that we just created, right? So now if we were to open this up and deselect the top one, that little dummy should flash on and off, and that applies for this. Now the same thing as you did for all these other ones. Your L0 selected, parent selected, compound, lock. Boom, here. That. Let's move. Same thing with extra 12, except we're not going to be putting it in any particular quadrant. So you need your quadar, select, center local axes to object, click, create, copy, dummy, copy. Now this one, move it just behind that mesh right there. And it should automatically be in line because we centered the axes. If you were going into your 3D view, you see it should be sitting right behind that light right there. This is what I do. It has worked for me numerous times. Drag your dummy, open it up. The parent is the dummy that flashes, child, that there. Now you're going to be wondering, okay, well, why is this here when I have 2 of them? You know, is it going to flash differently? Nope. Because with ELS, there's actually a setting in there when you go to do it that says mirror lights. If you mirror the lights, then it'll also shine on the other side. So it works. Let's do, this is not selected. Parent is selected. Compound. Boom. All of your lights are done now. They should be are ready to test in game, except for your light bar. We still need to LED your light bar. To do that, it's the same thing as we have done before. Create a copy, drag it in. L0 is unselected, your parent is selected. Convert to compound, lock. Drag the child up. Unlock. Now, if you were like me and you like to have things, for lack of better words, uniform, and have things, because you can just drag everything in. You can just drag everything into the light bar if you wanted to. I don't like doing that personally. I like to make dummies for them. Go right up here to where it says dummy helper. Create a dummy right here. In this, like I said, this will not show up in game. This is just think of it like a file cabinet. You just put things in here to store them. Right? Rename it to what you have renamed here, or something that's easy for you to remember what it is. NISC underscore light bar. Enter. You don't need to LED this because, like I said, it's not any mesh or anything. It doesn't show up in game. Drag everything in, and you should be good to go. If you were to press show all and L0 again so your car shows up, everything should be right. Perfect. Now what we can do with this here, because we actually need to put it inside the car, if that makes sense, for open game, because this is basically showing up as two different objects now, so we need to actually make. Let's go ahead and grab a hold of it, hover it right over this check mark right here, or this little plus mark, and then typically here, Emily. So if this, make sure you don't have two chassis here. If you have two chassis, because a lot of times when you go to copy things, it'll make a copy of something you don't. But if you were to grab it, highlight it over that, highlight it over this, I would start putting everything right under dials right. Click that, there's your light bar right there. Perfect, exactly what you want. That is all set. All right. So now what we need to do, we need to put our RAM bar on. Do that. Find wherever you had it set. I had a separate folder, like I said, so go, actually, oh, I haven't showed you how to merge things yet. Show you how to merge. All right, so let's go over here to File, Merge. Now, merging is where you merge Z3D files onto your vehicle. You never want to merge a vehicle onto a RAM bar. Things will mess up and you will just have one hell of a time trying to fix it. So, for instance, like this, always merge your extra parts, like your RAM bars, your consoles, so on and so forth, into your dev folder. Go to push bars, find wherever that was, and mine it would be here, PB400. Double click it, and now this window should pop up. Click on it, or I always, for everything I do, I always press Alt, and then I just delete things as I don't need them later on. Press merge. Right? Now you can see, all right, well, where's my RAM bar? Why is it not here? Switch between your LODs, and there it is. Easy. Now, if you don't want any lights on this or anything, all you have to do, just misc underscore the RAM bar, right? And that is exactly how it should be. You can grab it, put it right. I just, like I said, I start making my list and I put everything under. Right? Now, just because your RAM bar is in there doesn't mean it has any sort of collision. If I were to uncheck this and press collision, see, again, you can see that there's no collision there for that RAM bar. Oh, title RAM bar. This one doesn't even have. So what you can do is you can make your own. I'm not going to worry about doing that in this video. I feel like I'm already overloading you enough. I just want to give you guys some sort of break, I guess you could say. So, selected show all again. If you did everything exactly how I did it, I know I kind of spoke a little weird, but if you did it how I did it, this is what your car should look like. You can go front to back and where I had you place it with minor variations. Does not mean your vehicle is ready. You need to work on your file size and your materials. If you were to go up here to like the multicolored little logo here. It says material browser. Click on that, and you will notice all these here on the right, and then over here you'll have some things that probably won't make any sense to you right now. But you can see under unused materials, we don't want any unused materials. And when you start adding more stuff without doing all this first, this list will be a half a mile long. All you need to do is click on unused materials. It should highlight everything that you don't need. Like for instance, this one's just the hubcap because that's all that's right here. Press delete. And then all you are left with is things that are in use. So now what we need to do is we need to actually make the game understand that we have lights. And you can see here, we have an RX 2700 EMIS that is a vehicle light emissive. We need to drag that to the top of our material list, put it right in between the default material and the gauge cluster. It should stay right here, and do that with any other lights that you decided to add. If you didn't follow me step by step, in the next video I'll go over like how to add like mirror beams or like backlight or something like that. We'll figure it out. All right, so this should be right here. That should be the only light that you have in right now if you followed me step by step. And here, click OK. And we're not going to do anything with the texture bars because I'm going to show you a much better and simpler way of doing this, or of doing what I'm about to have you do. So this is technically ready to put in game now. I'm just going to, I actually think I police 2 for something. Actually, no. What we're going to do is go to save as, dev folder, work in progress. If you have a definitely make a work in progress folder, that way you can just have an easier place to store things. Right click and create a new folder. I'm just going to name this one tutorial. Open that up, make another folder, 18 charger, open that up one more time, and then just save it as whatever name that you want. If it's going to be the only thing in here that is Z3D, so I just always put mine to 1, but for sake of you doing the correct thing, just name it 18 charger. Save. All right, now we got that there. And we need to actually export the vehicle into a readable GTA format. You can go over here to where it says export, find that folder you just did, your 18 charger, perfect. See, nothing's in here. Now but before anything, we need to actually set the type of file that it is. Now GTA uses YFT files, and you can see GTA Rage model. Make sure that is always selected. And sorry. Now when you export things, anything you export has to be the name of what it shows right here, or for the parent vehicle. For instance, this one is police2_high, which is the high is just the highest definition, or the highest quality. So what we need to do over here, police_2_high. Now, since this one's going to be our highest definition one, we need to actually make sure that we export highest definition LOD, which is, I already have it selected, but if you just click on this, you'll see auto detect all the highest and highest only. Click highest only. Now we need to do the base model now, which has all the LEDs in it. So just go over here to where we can rename it. Delete where it says _high. Just left with police 2. Go to export police 2. Make sure that it says exactly how it's chosen here. Now we need to export all LODs. So all. All right, let's go ahead and just minimize our Zmodeler here. Open up your OpenIV. And then I always have a favorite folder set up, but if you don't have one, I'm not going to show you how to do anything with OpenIV. I've done it before. If you need further guidance on that, either look through one of my videos or find somebody else's. So go to wherever you want to replace them in. You can see, I think I already am using a police 2. Yep, just back. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete that so I can show you how to do it step by step. All right, so find your folder that you just saved that in, dev, progress, tutorial, 18 charger, drag 2 YFTs over here. Right? Now if we were to open these up, but whoa, what is this? Why is this like this? Well, you don't have any textures in there. Good. Literally no textures at all. What you need to do is go back to your dev folder, find where that base vehicle is that you had downloaded from that website, which is Dodge Charger Boot. Now you need your YTD. I gotta rename these because I use them for different things. So name it +2. Name this one. Make sure you don't delete the plus high. 2. Drag those over. Now, yeah, you have the base game vehicles, or the base vehicles textures in there, but we also added 2 other things. We added that light bar. We added that Satina. Open up the police2.ytd, not the high. Now go to your dev folder, light bars, code 3, 2700, files, textures. If you remember, we went into colors, red and blue, and then highlight all the things that we had selected inside your Zmodeler, drag them over, do the same thing. Charger. Perfect. And then press save. Oh, look at that there. Push bar right there. That's already fitted too. You didn't have to do anything with that one. Some of them are not fitted, or you have to do some minor adjustments to them. Anyway, lights over here. Look how pretty they look, and they are ready to go in game. Kind of, sort of. We still need to do our ELS file. So, with ELS, if you were to open up your GTA here and go into your ELS pack default, and then you should already have it, like, unless you already have switched out your ELS XML and go into your unused, then you should have one here that says unused. If it says unused, if it says, stop it, it says unused, just or police or something like that, just rename it to police 2, and Control C, back, and then Control V it in there, and then it should pop up right. All right, we are in game, and you can see Trevor's hunting and all that. All right, perfect. So now, if you have a trainer installed, go ahead and open your trainer, go to your vehicle spawning section, go to emergency, down to police 2, spawn it in. Now, assuming everything you did is correct, you shouldn't have any other lights on, everything should spawn off, and you should see your car here in all of its glory that you did. Congratulations, you have made your first ELS vehicle. So, press J, you can see traffic advisor should work, 1 and 4 should work, and then they are all. So, you want to learn how to actually change your ELS flash patterns and stuff, press Control P, it'll pause your game, open this up, and you should see things here. If you were to, and then to control this, you have U, I, and O on your keyboard. Let's just start with like stage 1 here. So the letter I actually controls your 7, 8, and 9. You can, if I just switch between these, you can change your different patterns if you want it. My favorite pattern to do, I always like to go in from right to left. That way you can, I don't know, roleplay that you're telling people to go, you know, to the left of you if you're on a traffic stop or something. Hold Alt and press I. That way it starts going backwards. If you look right here, you'll see it'll go backwards. And then, oh, I think I just had it. Other way. There we go. So you can see I have it going from right to left, and that's number 31. So now if you want to go back into your folder here, find your police 2, press edit. And then yours will look a little bit different than mine. You want things, if you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you'll see like all these say false and stuff like that. Set these all to true. Way if you want to use them later on, it's just simple and easy. And then you can see here, so your sec lights, those are going to be your 7, 8, and 9. Your PRML or primary lights are going to be extra 1 and 4, and then 2 and 3 later on. and then extra 3, or excuse me, extra 5 and 6 are going to be your warning lights, as well called on, where it says LSGT, that stands for light stage. So you got light stage 3, stage 2, and then 3, and light stage 1. What this means is your traffic advisors, the pattern on light stage 1, the pattern you want on light stage 2, stage 3, and since extra 1 and 4 activates on light stage 2, you'll have light stage 2 right here, then 3, and then since extra 5 and 6 are on light stage 3, that's where you can change the pattern there. So I liked the pattern on 31 for light stage 1. That we hit J again, pick whatever flash pattern you want. Just keep doing your traffic advisors first, and then focus on everything else later. So, sure, I like that one. So I like, was it number 8? So go here for light stage 2. I like the pattern 8. And then let's say light stage 3. I didn't want any traffic advisors. I just wanted that. I know it looks funky on this, but if you didn't want that, you go into your thing here, where it says disable at light stage 3, change that. If you want to keep a pattern on it, keep this false, make your pattern. All right, so now since our traffic advisors are done, we can go to primary lights. See here, if you were to press U, that actually changes that. So if you want those to flash, like just find whatever pattern like I had you do before. I like that one. That looks good. So that one is pattern 137. So if you're to go over here, go to your primary lights on stage 2, you want them to flash 137. On stage 3, let's say you want them to flash, I don't know, 10. And let's say if you want to do 10, so on light stage 3, you have them on 10. And then we don't have any extra 5 or 6 right now, but we will get to that later on in a different episode. I think I have racked your brain for quite long enough, and then we'll focus on that later, so you can exit out, save it, and next time you join in game, your light stages should automatically be applied to the vehicle. You have just made your first non-ELS vehicle. I hope you were patting yourself on the back there. I know it's a lot to take in about an hour-long video. I am sorry. I did not expect for it to take this long, but I can't stop talking. All right. If you have any questions, please. I'm going to actually disable comments on the video, but I will put a link to the Discord in. Well, actually, if you're in the Discord, if you're watching the video, you have to be in the Discord anyway. Hit me up on Discord. I will try to answer as much as I can, and then I think next episode we'll probably add some RAM bar lights, set those to 5 and 6, and then maybe like a rear deck bar. I don't know. We will figure that out. All right. Again, any questions? Discord. I'm gonna go edit this video. Hope you guys have a beautiful night, and I will see you in the next video. Have a good night, everybody.